My name is Jason, and I'm here for. What am I here for? It's a good question. I'm here to talk. So, my name is Jason. I'm a channeler, and nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. What I want to talk today, though, about is hope and exhaustion, two very main big themes that are happening these days for many of us. So, before I begin, I just want to share this is my site. And if you're interested, I offer sessions here. There's 3 different types of spiritual guidance sessions here, and you can check that out. And there's testimonials, and if you click on offerings at the top, I have this mug that I made, and I also have my books below: the Hathor Singing Guide, the Dragon Book, channeling course, and also this Lightworker community, which if you join. We meet twice a month, and we have live Q&A channelings, and then we also have all of the archives, so 50 plus hours of channeling that you can access whenever you want. And it has the videos, and it also has the transcripts, and then sound baths, so about 30 sound baths. So I just want to share that, and yeah. So in here, I want to share the yin and yang symbol. Here we are in this third dimension, and this third dimension is represented by the yin and yang symbol. And so there are 2 sides of the yin and yang symbol, and they represent the 2 sides of the coin that we exist on. And this is a good, accurate representation of what this world is like, this third dimensional world. There are all these things happening, and they're happening on both sides, but they're perfectly balanced. Even though it doesn't seem like it's perfectly balanced, like we see in our world, it seems as if it's like we're in the Gotham City from I think it was Marvel, Spider-Man. It was Batman. They're in Gotham City, and it's a lawless place, and everything's falling apart. And well, we were kind of in Gotham City for a while, but it seems like one side is tipped far to one side or the other, and it never is. That's an illusion. And in addition to this whole yin and yang symbol is an illusion. It's just a way of representing this third dimension that we're on, but we're not a part of this. So we just come down here, and we come to witness all of these things and to experience it, but we come to find that, if we just walk down this middle path here, right in the middle, we don't have to jump into fear or argument or judgment about all of these different things. That if we do that, we can retain our sovereignty and remember that we're made of love, and that we don't have to play all of the games that are available on this system. There are so many different games of jealousy, of rage, of revenge, and we don't have to participate. We're saying, I'm not going to participate in that. I'm just going to participate in what my heart tells me to do, where my heart tells me to go. So, and just to share, if you're new to this site, this yin and yang symbol I've been shown recently is the polarities have been increased more and more. As you probably have realized, that things are very polarized. How do you know that things are polarized? You can say a word and people will lose their stuff, right? You can say a few different words in a conversation and people are just go nuts, and their eyes will change, and they'll just, you'll see the whites of their eyes, and they will not be themselves anymore. They will jump into one of the polarities. And so that's how you know things are polarized. And so, yes, but it is being polarized on purpose to push us, gently nudge us into that middle path, because it's so hard to be in those polarities for very long. And we see on the news many people who are jumping into those polarities and think, my goodness, what happened to you? Come back. And so, yeah, so this is also a part of this ascension process. And so what I wanted to talk about today about the ascension process is this exhaustion. It is exhausting, right? It is so tiring. All of this energy, being bombarded with all of these energies, this up and this down, and and all of the crazy dreams, and all of the And so what I wanted to share, though, is that there's a channeler, a very famous channeler, you guys probably all know already, Diane Cooper, and she put out a little video, and I haven't been catching up with her videos recently. I try actually not to watch a lot of channeled videos, so that I don't, yeah, it doesn't interfere with my channeling, I guess. I wanna try to keep it as clear as possible. But every once in a while things will pop up, and her video popped up, and she was talking about this exhaustion as well, and it was really cool to have a confirmation to see, wow, Diane Cooper's also experiencing this too. How cool is that? I do recommend her stuff, her work, her books are really amazing. She really helped me out a lot when I was starting her work with Tim Wilde, when they were working together. I'm not sure if they're working together anymore, but when they were, it was amazing stuff, and it really helped me out of a jam. So yes, but what she was talking about was this exhaustion, and that she was also feeling it as well. And what she got from it was that we're all kind of reaching these higher dimensions. We're all reaching, our frequencies are rising up, but the rest of the planet isn't. And so we're operating at a different frequency from the rest of the planet. And so when we go out in public, the rest of the planet, the rest of the people around, they're like, wow, what is that? That's like, it's like water in the desert for a lot of the people. That's not what she said, but that's, for me, this is the way I kind of see it, is that it's like water in the desert, that a lot of people are living in this kind of desert landscape, and it's just, they can't see the hope, they can't see what's going on. And then you meditate for an hour or two, and you're feeling really like high vibration, and then you go outside, or you go into like a traffic jam, or a crowded subway, or a crowded city, and then you come like about 20 minutes later, just like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted, I don't know what just happened. And that's, yeah, because people are seeing the light, and they're saying, oh, that's what we want. And they don't know, they're kind of in this consuming feedback loop. So they're just consume. And so it's just, I think this is a period of time within this ascension process that we're in. It's just one of those things. And I think it's an interesting thing. But yeah, so just to bring that out there, that I think it's pretty exhausting. I mean, I know I have to take so many naps. I never know I had to take so many naps. It's just like everything is exhausting. In addition to this, there's also the exhaustion of not wanting really to do anything in particular. So for example, you have your life, we've got our third dimensional world, we've got our jobs, we've got our stuff to do, and we do the stuff that we have to do, but there isn't the same desire to jump in it and do it. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do this thing. It's just like, yeah, I'm just going to do this thing. And a lot of the ego stuff is kind of not there anymore. It's just like, well, okay, if I do this and do this and do this, even if this happens, what difference does it make in that sense? So, and I think a lot of people are in that state of being disillusioned, because we realize that this paradigm that we're in at the moment is changing. And so it's not the same anymore. And the things that used to have energy don't really have that energy to them anymore, but we're still kind of not sure what the other things that are going to have energy are. And we're just kind of struggling to find that. And I know for myself, what I've been finding recently is just writing stories and editing all the stories that I've been writing. I get a lot of inspiration from my dreams. I get pretty much, my dreams are my stories, and I write them down, and then I'm kind of editing them and revising them, and that actually makes me, it's one thing that kind of makes me happy. So if you can find something like that you can do. But I think it's really hard for me to jump into something big, like so I'm a composer, and I'm a classical guitarist, but I don't have the desire to even program concerts, or try to go out and find opportunities to write for different people. It's just like, if someone comes, but at the moment I just don't have the energy. I'm just so bombarded with all this stuff. So I wanted to share that. And that, so in the situation that you kind of start to lose hope as well. You think, well, what's the point of anything? Why do anything? And so you lose hope. And I was in this state today. I was kind of losing hope, and I didn't have any energy to do anything. I thought, well, this is not a good state to be in. So I went out, got an ice cream, and took a really, really long walk. and about 3 kilometer walk or something, or 4 kilometer walk. Maybe it's not super long, and I was walking, and I halfway through, I was asking my guides, I was like, all right, I need your help. I can't get out of this funk. I don't know what to do. And so they came in, and they just helped me help, everything kind of brightened up a lot. And what I wanted to share, though, is what I felt about this lack of hope. The lack of hope is not the thing, right? Lack of hope, it's like, okay, hope's gone, whatever. It's the emotional attachment to the hope that's the problem. So you can feel hopelessness but not feel sad. But so if we're able to disentangle the emotion from the actual hopelessness, so in understanding, okay, so I'm hopeless, that's fine, right? I'm hopeless, that's fine. And in that sense, understanding that, like, this having hope and not having hope is just two sides of the same coin. It's just one illusion or the other illusion. But if we can disentangle it and just see it from a third perspective, I'm not feeling very hopeful now. Okay, but I'm taking out the sadness from it. I'm taking out all these things. I'm just walking. I'm just feeling this feeling. And just being able to observe your feelings is really important. So I want to channel a little bit about that. But before I do, I want to share this funny thing that happened to me. So here we go. So this is my light in my room, right? So video can't be played because file is corrupt. Okay, I'm just gonna play it anyway. See if it works. Nope, it's not gonna play for me. Well, anyway, I guess everything happens for a reason. So, but anyway, this is the light in my room, and all of a sudden, a few nights ago, I was just sitting in my room, and I just finished like practicing guitar, and I was about to turn off the light, and then all of a sudden the light started blinking. It was blinking for like about 20 seconds or so, and I thought, okay, that's weird. And so I asked who it was, and I didn't get much of an answer for it. And finally, I took out my Tibetan bowl, and I played it underneath it a few times, and it just stopped. I thought that was interesting. The other thing I wanted to share is this. There's something called the First Great Awakening. In fact, there are 4 different Great Awakenings. You'd be if you're not familiar with it, it's pretty interesting that there were. The First Great Awakening happened in America from. Oops! Oh no! What have I done? The First Great Awakening happened from 1730 to 1755. And it swept Britain and the 13 North American colonies. It was a revival movement, and everyone tried to become more and more pietous and religious. And the reason is because they thought it was imminent. The second coming was imminent, right? And so so many people joined different communities, and they were preparing for the second coming. They're preparing for the end of the world, basically, 1730s. And so this kind of brings me to this place here. This is the Ephrata Cloister. This was my first clearing job, if you call it that. This is just a museum now, but it used to house a cloister of people, of nuns and monks that were preparing for the coming time. And this was in the 1730s. A man named Conrad Beisel started this cloister. And I just stumbled on this page one day, and I sensed the heaviness of this video and the heaviness of the place. And so my guides had said that this would be my first channeling, or not channeling, but clearing. So I was clearing this energy of this space here because I had a lot of stuck energy. And but what interesting thing about this is that I always wonder what happened to the group, right? There was this man, Conrad Beisel, here you have him here. He sought to live as a hermit according to his own religious beliefs, and he emphasized preparing for a spiritual union with God, which would occur imminently with the second coming. By the 1750s, it was the home to 80 celibate brothers and sisters who lived in a striking Germanic style log, and and they lived a life led by discipline and balancing labor with private prayer. But so, here's what happened. After he died, the society declined after the death of Beisel, and the last celibate member died in 1813, and the remaining householders formed this group, the German Seventh-day Baptist Church, that actually still exists today. So what was interesting for me was that in this thing, I wonder if it actually happened. Is it possible that like some sort of religious event happened at this time, and it didn't just disperse. There was a cataclysmic event, and maybe they went up. Maybe this was an ascension, a smaller ascension, and maybe these great awakenings have a little bit more to them than we think they do. Now, this is just all conjecture, but I've always wondered about this because it's interesting that it just kind of fizzled away. And another interesting thing about this is Bach lived about the time, so his life compilated the Great Awakening. It was during his lifetime that the first Great Awakening happened. And I've always found that his music, to me, sounds like music from another civilization. I find that all of the other composers, and no offense to them, no offense to Beethoven and Mozart and Brahms and Corelli, Vivaldi, Rameau, all those guys. I mean, I love them. I love them to death. They're amazing, amazing composers. But it always feels like to me, Strauss, Schubert, that they're trying to imitate Bach, but they can't quite do it. And so that's always seemed strange to me, is that how you would think that he's around so people could learn how to write like him. But so I think there was something more to this, and that he's from another civilization, and maybe he was from the civilization that disappeared after the first Great Awakening. Just conjecture on my part. It's very interesting to me. I love Bach, and very interested in the Ephrata cloister as they were composing music as well. They were some of the first, according to our official history, first female composers of America. They lived ascetic lives, but they also were writing music. So I thought that was cool. Like, I mean, for me, it's just like, if I have to live an ascetic life, like here in Japan, they have all these Buddhist monasteries, but you can't have music. You can't bring your guitar. You can't write music. You have to kind of just be real, solemn all the time. So I was thinking, I'm not going to do that because I want to have music. And so I thought, hey, they got the music. Just another thing about that. Hold on, let me stop sharing here. About that, my light switch that was flickering on and off. That night, I had this dream, and it was like a fever dream, and these beings were coming in, and they were telling me that they were going to tell me the people that were actually behind everything that was happening on our planet at the moment. And I was just telling them, I was like, I just want to sleep. I have to wake up early tomorrow. Can you just let me alone? I don't really want to know this stuff right now. And so, I don't know if there's a connection with it, but that was funny. In addition to that, one thing, I don't know if you guys are Murakami Haruki fans, but he came out with his new book, The City and Its Uncertain Walls. I'm not sure if they have the translation out yet, but yeah. These it takes me a long time to read these, though. In English, it would take me about like a week, or maybe less than a week. But in Japanese, it takes me about 6 months to a year. So yeah, so I'm going to go into a channeling, and I want ask them for a message related to this feeling, this hope and exhaustion. Yeah, if they could kind of give us some guidance. Here we go. Greetings. We are that one that you know as Mary Magdalene. We're here, and we're here, and we're here. And we see you, beautiful souls, moving through this beautiful time on this beautiful planet, this beautiful, beautiful planet, filled with water and filled with green. You are moving through one of the most beautiful places available on this universe. This planet is filled with so much beauty. It is such a beautiful place, and we would recommend going outside and appreciating this beauty. This beauty is pined after by beings throughout the whole universe. You might say that they have posters on their wall, although they are not posters, but similar to you putting a poster on your wall of the earth and of its beauty and of this beautiful time that you're in. This is a golden time, a beautiful time. Even though it doesn't feel that way, this is a golden time. This is a time of the heights of energy, of of you scaling heights that you have never scaled before, and you're being given the ability to do so. You might say that the doors are open to you. Their doors are open to those who are willing to scale the heights, who are willing to pursue a higher dimension of living in this third dimension. The doors are wide open to all of you. This amazing time is open to all of you. And this is not like those former awakenings. This is a grand awakening throughout your entire planet. This is an opening. This is an opportunity. You are all eligible. You are all eligible for this amazing opportunity to experience higher dimensional living within this third dimensional framework, and also to understand and experience all of the dilemmas that happen within that. Because as you start to raise your energy, and while you are not living within a monastery, you are not living in a conclave somewhere separated from the rest of society, all of you are placed in your cities, in your towns, surrounded with many people who are not willing to take this opportunity, who have no desire to take this opportunity. And you are all living among them. Some of you living in solitude within many. You are living among many, but you feel the solitude because you yourself have taken this opportunity. You've taken this wonderful opportunity that is presented to you, and you have been scaling the heights of higher dimensional living. But you're finding that the rest of the world has not been scaling the heights with you, and that you find yourself at the top of this mountain. We might say metaphorically that you're at the top of this mountain, and you're all alone up there. You see no one else with you up there. And then when you come down, when you try to interact with others, all you feel is the depletion of your energy, and you see the energy within everything that is happening third dimensionally. And that's why you see no hope and no desire to participate in many things. That's why many of you are losing the desire to do the things that you used to do, because you see straight through them. You understand what purpose they serve, and now you are operating at a different paradigm, and so you are filled with love now, and you see that things that are not filled with love don't serve you, that they do not have any meaning to you, and they almost seem hollow. And you find yourself seeing these things that you once put so much meaning towards, you put so much feeling into, and now seeing them as the hollow things that they really are is a feeling that can be very tiring for all of you. Even now, as you can't truly see the next step, you can't truly see the beauty of where it is that you're going. And so all you see are these hollow things that you once had meaning into them. And you see many others believing wholeheartedly in these hollow things that have no meaning. And you feel sad, and you feel exhausted, you feel tired, because you think, where am I supposed to fit in here? What is my purpose here? Why am I here? Why am I in this place? Why am I feeling these heights of higher dimensional feeling, this higher dimensional communion with God, when all I get is this? All I get is placed into these situations where I feel as though my energy is being drained. And we would say to all of you that keep up the beautiful work. This is not going to last forever. This is the splitting of the dimensions that you are finding. And you are finding the difficulty that your guides have had in the past with you, because you can see beyond. You can see beyond what others cannot see. So you understand. You have a larger picture, a larger perspective of the things that are happening around you, where many don't. Many only can see the hollowness, and they do not see it as hollow. It is very, very real to them, and it is imbued with many different emotions. And so understand that this is just an in-between time that is also very necessary, because those who are living at this third dimensional level are living at a level without a lot of hope. And just that energy that you are beaming out from that mountaintop, that metaphorical mountaintop that you're beaming out, is helping them to get through this time, even though they don't understand what's going on. So that is one of the things that you are doing, is stabilizing the energy for them as well. While this world is splitting apart dimensionally, it's really important that they also are able to have a smooth ride to go where they need to go. And so you are holding down that frequency. You are doing a very, very important job, and it is a job that you don't get much thanks for. We understand that, but we see you, and we see how beautiful you are. We see the beautiful job that you're doing. Keep doing this amazing work that you're doing on this planet. All right, good. All right. Yeah, that explains a lot. Yeah, so keep up the beautiful work, everyone. It's hard, but it's for a good cause. So I hope you guys are hopeful, and hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. So ciao for now, and go beach. I wish I could go to the beach now. All right, guys, so ciao.